Hello everyone, I am back today with another game. This is going to be a tournament game against Ides of March, and this is going to be the 5th round of the North American Stratego Federation NASF Championships for 2022. And after winning my first two games, those were games I was able to upload against Sorrow and Zach, I did not do so well the next couple games, and I lost to Warlock, and then after that, I have to try to remember now. I don't remember who I lost to in the 4th round, but I also lost that game, so I'm currently 2-2. So this game against Ides, hopefully I'll be able to come away with a win here. I don't think I've ever lost to Ides before. My impression of games against him is he's kind of one of those players where you can kind of hang back more or less and try to outplay him in a longer style game, meaning he's not really going to rush in, but you can kind of play more of a bluff game against him. So I'll probably plan to do somewhat of that against him today. So I'm leaving the center pretty just normal there, and I'm going to go sort of attack on the sides. There's not a whole lot of strength that I have in the first place there. I'm going to hit that. That's a lieutenant. Okay. I will come up with the colonel. Just have a little bit of firepower behind this push that I'm going to try to orchestrate over here. I'm going to actually move that back just to add a sort of intrigue, just not give him a free scout. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take that. Colonel, okay. So I will go ahead, I will rush in on that. And I'm probably just going to leave that there for now. I'm a bit wary of that piece, so I'm probably going to retreat on that. But we know he has a colonel here. I believe that's a sergeant. I have to confess, I kind of forgot. I know I scouted it. So if that is the case, probably want to leave that lieutenant there. That's sort of a in-game thing where if they try to attack, I have a strong lieutenant there to take, because I'll hit a lot of the times on the sides with the miners. So I'm probably just going to want to leave it like that. So let's go ahead and scout that. It's a lieutenant, okay. So he already showed a colonel here. I'm going to come out with a major and hope that he doesn't have another colonel. That makes me think it's a scout though. So I'm going to go ahead and actually retreat on that. And I'll probably come out with a lieutenant and try to hit that. A bit annoying for him to discover a bomb so cheaply. As expected, that's a scout, and we'll see if he trades or if he runs away. Okay. I really doubt that's a miner. I think he's trying to bait me into hitting. It's probably a lieutenant or captain, so I'm not going to hit that. Okay, this major's unknown, so I'm going to advance with it, and I'm going to have to move up with that captain to keep the marshal info down. Kind of like this game, just kind of how these games go. It's a bit relaxed. It's fast paced, but no one's doing anything crazy. No one's rushing in with their marshals yet, and it's we're kind of filling each other out through the course of this game. But I do have the info advantage by virtue of knowing this colonel. Although if he has a scout in any one of these two pieces, he could figure this one out of mine pretty easily. Actually, come to think of it, this piece is probably not able to kill my major. That one might, but I think I should still probably want to keep my strategy of advancing with my major. I'm going to move that captain over. I don't really see a need to get the colonel involved yet. He doesn't even know that captain. Alright, so I'm thinking that's probably a scout because he likes to kind of have buffers there. Okay, I'm going to move the scout over, and then I'm going to take this piece. Okay. I would not be surprised if there are two scouts here. Okay, I'm just going to retreat. He does know my captain and my major here, both of them. Although I'm not sure if he'll remember that he knows this captain. Okay, I'll go ahead and formulate it like that. Still got his kernel here, but he likes to do these sort of setups where he kind of plays defense and just lines them up here. And that is actually a style that I think I like playing against sometimes. Just have to figure out what to actually do now. I'm going to move up with the scout. This is honestly a bit tricky, just trying to figure out what I can do. I'm going to hit this, I suppose. Another scout, kind of as expected there. I'm going to move up here, just trying to pressure him. And so he's going to show a second kernel then. Okay, so I know two of his kernels now is what that actually means. I have this one here and then this one that I know. I want to definitely bluff some backup since my major and my captain to my left here are exposed. So I'm going to come up with a sergeant here and try to bluff him. And he still doesn't know that captain, so I'm not sure exactly what he's planning on attacking with. I just kind of have to figure out what to do here and how I can get a point of attack. We have two kernels here. That means this could be a good piece. It's pretty hard to tell though. Alright, I'm going to come up with this minor, and I'm going to advance directly against the kernel, kind of see how he reacts and see if that can give me any clues. Okay, so he's going to take that with his piece there. I think defending that with the kernel is probably okay. Yeah, unfortunately that's actually really aggravating. Yeah, let me move in and see what he does. Oh, that's a very annoying sequence there. He just basically just got a captain for free. And that kind of shows that this marshal could be a strong piece. I'm going to want to shuffle it back most likely. Okay, so now he's showing strength here. He's going to bring that major back over. That was pretty lucky of him just to be able to hit that captain with the major there. Alright, so we know major, we know colonel, and we know colonel. That's a strong piece. I can kind of figure that out by now. I'm going to move the captain against this, though. I'm going to want to definitely shuffle this marshal back, make it seem not as good or an important piece. So I know his colonel is here. Let's come around with my colonel, try to see what I can do in the center here. So I'm thinking this is a scout or a minor, just a piece he brought up from the back row to be able to test something. Okay, so that is, I don't actually know what that is, but I thought it was a good piece. So I'm going to want to be wary of that. And of course he's going to retreat that very quickly. I'm going to want to bring this colonel back, I think. Actually, he doesn't know this colonel, and I've forgotten that he doesn't know it. Interesting. So that's his colonel now, and he switched it with this. Alright, I'm going to hit with my sergeant in the middle. Pretty sure that's his sergeant. Alright, I'll go ahead and hit. Oh, wow, Marshal. Okay, well, he could have done a lot of damage there. I'm going to back up on that. Oh, that is really not good. Alright, a colonel's going to die here anyway, so let's see. Okay, that's just really sad, honestly. Yeah, that is really unfortunate that Q just went for that risk, and it turned out well for him. That pretty much gives me complete info. This is a colonel, that's going to be his general, and that's the major, of course. But yeah, definitely very far from ideal. He's got a pretty hefty lead at this point. Okay. That's his major again. And this is his colonel that he's brought over. Alright, so I'll take that sergeant. I know this is his colonel here, of course. Okay. So we have colonel here, marshal here. This has got to be his general. That's probably it. Well, I know that's his major. This is probably his general. I don't know the spy. It could be this one, though. That's a pretty strong centralized area that it might be based on his other piece location here. Okay. So that's his general retreating now. He probably remembers that major, which makes sense. Okay. Alright, that's not ideal. It would have been better to get a major back on him. And he still has 2 scouts left. He could really almost just end the game at any point if he discovers my marshal. That's his general. I thought. Wasn't that his general? Oh, okay, good. Alright, so he's going to use a captain there. That means he's only up 2 pieces. He's no longer up 3. So what I have to do now is get, I guess, another captain back so that he's up a colonel and that I'm up a lieutenant and 2 minors on him. That's really the only plan of action that I have, unfortunately. Okay, that's an easy trade there. I'd prefer to get a colonel back, but I wasn't in position to defend with my marshal yet. Alright, I think he might be getting maybe a little bit predictable at this point, if this is another captain that he comes down with. Perfect, okay. So I think I'm in a better position now. I didn't want to take that one earlier yet. Okay, so there's his general. That's actually pretty interesting, because I thought this piece was his general, so this must be a spy here. So I'm going to threaten him here. I'm pretty sure that's his colonel, unless I've lost it, which I really doubt I have. Uh-huh, okay. Right. So I actually read his general wrong, but he wasn't able to take advantage of that. But I will keep tracking with him here. There we go. So I'm going to scout that. Oh, not even his spy, just a scout. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and move next to the minor. I would be surprised if his marshal moves next to this minor, just since it was near my general. But at this point, I'm definitely going to want to trade captains is the top priority for sure. I don't want to trade marshals yet, because I might still be able to expend some of that advantage. Interesting. Okay, well, I'm kind of forced now. I don't really have anything else. So I'm going to come up with my spy. That's his colonel, as we know. Oh, maybe he's forgotten my marshal, but I'm definitely going to take that. Perfect. Yeah, I guess he's forgotten my marshal. That's definitely a fatal mistake to make in this game, because now I'm immediately catapulted to the win here. Not sure what he thought my marshal was, because he was trying to threaten it earlier until I brought up my spy as a bluff to ward him off. Yeah, unfortunate memory error, but that's going to lock the game up for me. I'm going to tell him GG, but that would have been a pretty tough endgame. If we had traded marshals, it would have been his colonel. I would have definitely wanted to probably trade captains before trading marshals, because his colonel could ward my captain off, and then his captain could try to take anything else. But if we had been able to trade captains, it would have been his colonel against my lieutenant and 2 minors being up, which would have been a tough endgame, but I probably would have been able to come out on top. But either way, pretty close game, pretty big deficit I was able to come back. 2 of those by getting captains with my marshal and general, and then the other with this memory error. But either way, that will come out as a win, and I will be now 3-2 in these championships. Maybe enough for a podium position as the tournament progresses, but I guess we will see what our next matchup is and how that goes. So I'll see y'all then, and thank you for watching.